welcome to Panorama. Well, as we count down to 2024 and, looking ahead to 2025, many of us are reflecting on the past year and looking ahead to the possibilities that 2025 holds. For some, the new year represents a fresh start, a chance to reboot and refocus on personal and professional goals. For others, it is an opportunity to build on past successes and tackle fresh challenges. But one thing is certain, 2025 holds promise and potential for all of us. So what's your plan for 2025? Do you have big dreams and ambitions, or are you taking a more cautious approach? Well, today on Panorama, we have a guest who together will be exploring the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians from all walks of life and examining the trends and developments, of course, that will shape our world in the coming year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ruth Aguele. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, a broker of peace in the Middle East in his time and a tireless advocate for global health and human rights, has died. He was 100 years old. Frama Panyi reports.
Issued on Sunday, Chip Carter, the former president's son, said, "My father was a hero, not only to me, but to everyone who believes in peace, human rights, and unselfish love," said Chip Carter, the former president's son. "My brothers, sister, and I shared him with the rest of the world through these common beliefs. The world is our family because of the way he brought people together, and we thank you for honoring his memory by continuing to live these shared beliefs." End of quote. A Georgia Democrat, Carter was the longest-lived president in U.S. history. He only served one term in the White House and was soundly beaten by Ronald Reagan in 1981. But Carter spent the decades afterward focused on international relations and human rights, efforts that won him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. Carter had undergone a series of hospital stays before his family said on 18 February last year that he had chosen to spend his remaining time at home in hospice care and with loved ones. The decision had the full support of his family and his medical team, a family statement said. Carter's wife, Rosalind Carter, died last November, 2 days after her own transition to hospice care. The former First Lady was 96. The pair married in 1946, and the former president attended her memorial service, traveling from the couple's long-term home in Plains, Georgia, to the Glen Memorial Church in Atlanta. He is survived by 4 children and 11 grandchildren. In the meantime, political leaders in the U.S. and beyond have begun to react to the death of the 39th President of the United States. In their tribute, leaders from Georgia, Colorado, Kentucky, Texas, and Oklahoma described the late president as a hero and a man of great character and courage, hope, and optimism. Frama Panyi, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has extended his heartfelt condolences to the United States government and its people on the passing of the former President Jimmy Carter, who died at the remarkable age of 100. President Carter was a shining example of selfless service to humanity, demonstrating to leaders around the world the profound impact of dedication and commitment to noble causes even after leaving office. As a Nobel Peace Prize laureate and global statesman, President Carter devoted his post-presidency to promoting peace, democracy, and eradicating tropical diseases. His unwavering commitment to these causes has left a lasting legacy. President Tinubu praised President Carter's ability to remain relevant and impactful after leaving office, tackling challenges in the developing world and promoting democratic values. President Tinubu also fondly recalled President Carter's friendship with Nigeria, highlighting his significant contributions through the Carter Center, particularly in eradicating guinea worm disease and river blindness. President Tinubu reflected on President Carter's historic visit to Nigeria in 1978, which marked a pivotal moment in U.S. foreign policy and lay the groundwork for a stronger relationship between the United States and Africa, with Nigeria at its heart. In other news, President Bola Tinubu has received a briefing from a Nigerian delegation who recently visited the United Kingdom, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for more bilateral cooperation and collaboration. Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, recently led a delegation which included his counterpart for budget and economic planning, Atiku Bagudu, and other members of the Presidential Economic Coordination Council to follow up on the economic diplomacy between the two countries. After their meeting with President, the ministers explained that the delegation reassured the Saudi authorities on various reforms to stabilize the macroeconomic environment in Nigeria, and therefore elicited a renewed commitment that would translate to creation of more job opportunities in Nigeria.
And we just followed up on some of those leads across the various opportunities that are there for foreign direct investment, for trade partnerships, and for even financial investments.
So all our engagements with Saudi officials demonstrated that confidence, and that we are confident investments will follow, and the relationship will blossom such that our reserves and our economic ties will improve with the kingdom.
The Budget and Economic Planning Minister also speaks on key expectations from the 2025 budget that the President recently presented to the National Assembly.
We have turned the bend. I think we have taken the top choices. We have seen maybe where we have seen the worst we could see, and not unexpected. That is why social protection was improved. So what we are expecting to see in 25 is better economic, lower inflation, more employment opportunities, more support for businesses, more infrastructure development, more funding of security and better security, and all those priority areas, human capital development, education, health. We are sure to see more in that direction, and the quality of life will get better.
Uplifting the economic status of vulnerable Nigerian women through empowerment formed activities of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in the outgoing year 2024. Ngozi Technical takes us through a preview of some of the empowerment programs and its impact on the beneficiaries.
The year 2024 was remarkable for Nigerian women, especially those at the hinterland, with economic empowerment dear to the former Minister of Women Affairs. Amina Tijani is one of the beneficiaries given kiosks and the sum of 500,000 naira. Other beneficiaries include the women of Pigba community in the suburb of the FCT who got grinding and sewing machines. Another empowerment scheme of the ministry was the pilot phase of 10,000 point of sale POS given to the women folks, and also distribution of tricycles.
Very, very grateful, and I promise that I will never be a dependent when I handle this.
Beyond empowerment, tackling gender-based violence was taken seriously.
The majority of the problems we have is mainly issue of lack of justice and consequences. It's almost 80% why a lot of people do as they wish. Inhumanity to human, we will resist it. And in that way, we start seeing decorum, and people will start knowing that if they do commit a crime, they will definitely go in for it.
The ministry witnessed change in mantle of leadership. The present minister has begun work and moving speedy to rewrite history for Nigerian women in all sectors.
Women agenda features very strongly within the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, and everybody can be able to kind of position themselves as of where to play, what to do, and how to support the emergence of our bags, the big ambitious goals. There's many of them, but I know that partnering, with whole of system, whole of government, whole of society, where we would achieve them.
No doubt, Nigerian women are in for better deals. Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
And talking about deals, what's your deal for the coming year? Talking about 2025. Well, we have a guest in the studio to talk to us about, plans people make in the coming year and looking at it from a holistic view for Nigeria. We have in the studio Pastor Michael Adewale Akonde. He's a superintendent, Christ Apostolic Church, Gwagwalada, here in Abuja. Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor. Thank you for joining us, Pastor.
Well done, ma.
All right.
Yeah, well done.
Glad to have you. Given 2024 is almost over, less than 48 hours, if I will say, but it's good, we have an idea of how the past has fared, on a general note, and what lessons can we take away from the past year in order to shape the incoming year?
As a person looking into this outgoing year, you could see a lot of increase in prices of commodities. The economy is rising at an alarming rate. And looking at that, a reasonable person must have a reasonable goal against the coming year. Like somebody said, a person that does not have goals is a goat. So you need to plan ahead and see how you can cope. You don't have to be thinking about the past, but be planning reasonably how to match up with the challenges in the coming year so that you will not be lagging behind and you'll be able to survive in whatever situation you find yourself. Globally, we know that economy is rising everywhere, and one have to have a reasonable goal towards that. And when we talk of goals, the best goal is what we call SMART, where we say S means it must be specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for realistic, and it must have time factor. Now, within the 1 year, which is 12 months of the year, what are the things I need to put in place so that I will not regret? Because life is about time.
Yes.
Once you are wasting your time, you are wasting your life.
Pastor, they said if you fail to plan, then you've planned to fail.
That is it.
Yeah,
that is
it. Talking about planning, a lot of people have set goals. Even I have set goals for myself.
Yes.
But what's the approach, as people begin the year, in terms of being realistic with these goals you've set for yourself?
Yes. So you have to think of what you could do, you could lay your hands upon, that can survive you in the midst of storm and no matter what comes up. So you must have a goal that you'll be able to achieve. That's why I say there is achievable, not something you will not be able to achieve. And you break it into a smaller portions that you'll be able to achieve them bit by bit. For example, as a man of God, I have to think of how to reach souls. We are living in a corrupt society, and I'm being called to be an evangelist to preach the gospel to souls. So why people are pursuing money, we need to pursue their souls so that they can make heaven at the end of their life. Not only that they will live godly in this simple world, and our society will become a better place to live by. That will not just be thinking of money alone, but we think of how we can live together and peaceably without any rancor or confusion.
And talking about, putting your heart right, one must cultivate a positive mindset.
Yes.
What would you advise Nigerians, in their approach in the coming year, especially with what has played out 2024, we're in the renewed hope era? What hope do you think Nigerians should have?
I think the most important thing is that Nigerians should pursue God. There is a saying in the Bible that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. When all of us have God controlling our lives, reigning our lives, we will live godly and we'll be able to endure in no matter the situation. You know that no matter how tough the situation may be, you will come out of it. So, but when you don't have the fear of God, you can misbehave and try to undo things illegally that can lead to destruction and other things, even loss of lives. But if we have God in our lives controlling us, we'll be able to be at patient with the government, with ourselves, believing that with God, all things are possible and life can change for better.
Indeed, and on a final note, just in case, we're not trying to be pessimistic here,
Okay.
just in case, towards the middle of the year, in the coming year, and your goals doesn't go as planned, what should an individual do? Do you give up or you just push?
No, you don't give up. You don't retire, but you refire, as I always say. So no matter the situation, once you believe in God, with God all things are possible. Things may not go the way you plan, but you must maintain your stand. If you can continue to stand on what you believe, with time, things will change. Somebody say, it is risky not to take a risk. So you have to believe that with God on your side, you will achieve your goals.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Pastor Michael Adewale Akonde. He's the superintendent, Christ Apostolic Church here in Abuja. Thank you so much for the insight. And we'll keep that hope alive because 2025 is looking promising already.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Thank you.
Let's take
Have
a break.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, Pastor. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, with undying demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we have more than destination.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Thank you for staying with us. Nasarawa State Government has taken a step further to foster peace and security around its boundary communities with advocacy on harmonious living and intelligence sharing to sustain relative peace in border areas. Well, this is coming as the Nasarawa State Government commends President Bola Tinubu for prompt response in addressing security challenges in parts of the state. Victoria Kaswa Ojito reports.
The peace-building advocacy commences from Panda in Karo local government area, which shares boundary with Kaduna State and the FCT, and is expected to continue in other communities to enable rural dwellers key into state government peace-building mechanism, which government says is responsible for sustainable peace in the states.
Peaceful coexistence.
As gateways to the state, Commissioner for Special Duties, Security and Sundry Matters, Ambassador Timothy Kaswa urges them to check influx of people in their domain and avail security agencies with useful information to track criminals.
There is peaceful coexistence among all the ethnic groups in Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State is generally peaceful. The federal government is also contributing a lot in enhancing security by allowing these all security services to help us to enhance security in the state. And they are doing very, very well.
There has been peace and harmony in the state, especially with this present regime.
And once our people are together, I think the peace we're yearning for will definitely be achieved even at the state and the national level.
As the community celebrates years of sustainable peace in the area, government is optimistic that this will be extended to other boundary communities for progress and development of the state. In Lafia, Victoria Kaswa Ojito, NTA News.
Nasarawa state government has assured victims affected by the recent inferno at the Masaka market of support as plans are underway to remodel the market. Governor Abdullahi Sule said this when he visited the market to sympathize with the victims and assess extent of damage. Aliyu Tijani reports.
The inferno is said to have started around 10 p.m. on Friday, 27 December 2024, destroying goods in more than half of the shops in the entire market. Cause of the disaster is still unknown, but some traders say it may probably be as a result of electrical spark in one of the shops. Governor Abdullahi, who just returned back to the country after his 10 days vacation, visit the market to sympathize with the affected traders as well as assess the extent of the damage. He directed for immediate investigation into the causes of the disaster and a comprehensive report on total number of affected traders to enable government assist them. This is not the first time Masaka Market in Karo, local government area of the state, is engulfed by inferno, raising concerns on the need for relevant stakeholders to adopt measures that will forestall future occurrence. Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
With few days to go for 2024, talking about the year, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation says it is making concerted efforts to improve the well-being of Nigerians in providing safe water and access to sanitation and hygiene services. Well, this report, our correspondent takes a look at the strides of the Tinubu administration in the sector.
Water remains indispensable to living things. Goal 6 is one of the 17 goals of the Sustainable Development Goal, which centers on clean water and sanitation. The Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation is saddled with the responsibility of driving the sector through policies that will ensure sustainable access to safe water, address a range of social, cultural, environmental, and economic needs of Nigerians.
This term, as I just mentioned, is to supply water to the farmers for their irrigation purposes and also for the commercial farmers that are interested in doing business with the government. The partners will come to us and then they will register and we give them the license to tap the water from the dam and also use it for their own irrigation purposes.
In addition, the ministry also inaugurated and adopted Songhai integrated model of farming in Bakulori and in Goroyu in Sokoto State, as well as Calabar, Cross River State. This modern farming system consists of sections dedicated to cropping, poultry, fishery, and rearing animals. Similarly, in Edo State, the road project leading to the headquarters of the Benin-Owena Road were commissioned for use. The 2023 dry season farming was also flagged up in Owena, and the ministry directed the 12 River Basin to commence operation immediately. The inauguration of the 3 new programs is another milestone achievement recorded by the ministry. They are the Water for Expanded Irrigated Program, WIPRO, Partnership for Expanded Irrigated Program, and River Basin Strategy for Poverty Alleviation. Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
And talking sports, President of Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has assured Nigerians that the Super Eagles Team B will get adequate preparations ahead of 2025 Championship of African Nations in Kenya, Tanzania. He stated this after Nigeria trashed Ghana 3-1 to qualify for the tournament after 6 years. John Paul Alumuna reports.
Super Eagles Team B, after playing a goalless draw with Ghana in the first leg in Accra last week, went into the second leg at the Gaswila Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, full of determination to turn things around. Few minutes into the match, goals from right back Sadiq Ismaila, Captain Ndoka Jr. and Saviour Isaac sealed the game for Nigeria as they went into the break with 3 goals advantage. Ghana fought back in the second half and got a consolation goal as the game ended 3-1 in favor of Nigeria.
We have discovered the Ghana team. There was nothing we were able to find about them, about their strength apart from history.
they came with their strength is history. And we try to blindfold ourselves to history.
Nigeria showed more angrier and did a lot of running, and we gave away some very key moments of the game which can turn out, because I think the second goal really dropped the strength and energy of the team.
It's not about winning, but it's about the kind of football we saw today. And we are very much excited. And I'm sure every single person that is here today is happy with the performance of the boys.
Nigeria will battle other African countries when the Championship of African Nations kicks off in February 2025. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
And that concludes Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a great day ahead. I'm Ruth Aguela.